Jesse McAnally.
And I'm Andrew DeWolf.
And welcome to Disney Plus Cheese, a podcast where two childless men in their 20s tear apart Disney Plus films with a cynical eye. How are you today, Andrew?
Well, I'm feeling all right. A little cold, but that's winter for you.
Oh, it's winter. You might even say it might be chilly outside.
Yeah, in fact, you might say that the ground is frosty.
Wow. Man, I thought you were going to say Frozone. Everyone's favorite character from The Incredibles Part 2.
Oh man, I love the Incronkables.
Incronkables! But no, today we are talking about Frozen. Just to start this inaugural episode.
Everyone's favorite show, Frozen.
Everyone's favorite Disney movie. It basically changed the entire landscape of Disney films. It is one of the most important pieces of Disney media, probably since Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
You think so? You really think it's that important?
I think it's important. I'm not saying it's as good as it is.
I'm not saying that either. I'm saying you really think it's that important. It's not even the first.
I think that it's that groundbreaking in as far as the Disney company and how it's going to proceed from that point onto the future.
So we're talking to start the Disney Plus show about the beginning of the Disney Plus era. What led up to this?
This is the start of it all. What has brought us to this point where this is a giant corporation is not possible without this film.
All right, let's get into it.
All right. So Frozen is a 2013 American 3D commuter animated Disney fantasy film. It was released by Walt Disney Pictures as the 53rd animated feature film, and it was inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale, The Snow Queen. It tells the story of a fearless princess who sets off on a journey alongside a rugged iceman, his loyal reindeer, and a native snowman to find her estranged sister, whose icy powers have inadvertently trapped their kingdom in eternal winter. The film was directed by Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee, written by Jennifer Lee, with music songs by Robert Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez, and score by Christopher Beck.
Can I just say something real quick?
General behind the scenes area.
Can I say something real quick here? I just realized that the fairy tales written by Hans Christian Andersen and the two love interests are Hans and Kristoff.
You got it? You get it?
I never noticed that. I don't know how I didn't notice that.
Can you tell me the other Hans Christian Andersen story that Disney has adapted into a film?
I cannot. What is it?
The Little Mermaid.
Oh, the Little Mermaid is a Hans? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I know that they are both notably darker when he wrote them.
And I wouldn't even say this one's all that darker, just is a whole different bird altogether.
Yeah, this one is very loosely based on it, not strongly, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So how would you describe the plot of Frozen?
Well, if you don't already know the plot to Frozen, it's basically two sisters. One of them has ice powers and is in line to be the queen. They set off an eternal winter and run away, and then the other sister has to get her back. And that's pretty much the story, I think.
Yeah, it's a good setup for it. So what was your experience with this? Let's go all the way back to 2013 when this show comes out onto the bright white way.
Okay.
No pun intended.
My mom wanted to see it, and it was like near Thanksgiving or something like that, so we went to see it opening night. Yeah, it was right
around the Thanksgiving holiday. And the same thing with me. I saw it opening night. Did you have any expectations? Did you see any trailers or marketing at all for it?
I was younger and may have thought the trailers looked stupid and thought it was going to suck.
Have you seen the trailers lately?
No, I haven't.
They do suck. They market a completely different movie than was given.
Okay. What are the trailers like? I don't remember what they did.
So they focused entirely on the snowman character and the reindeer character, and it was much more jokey. It was promoting itself much closer to DreamWorks in tone, where it's like, what is that? That's my sister! Wah wah! And then Josh Gad snowman running all around, and the reindeers. That was how they promoted it. And they didn't lean into any of the musical things. They did not promote that it was a musical. They did not lean into any of the voice actresses, or even imply that the two princesses were the leads.
Dude, it's just they don't sell. That type of stuff, that doesn't sell.
That's why they called it Frozen, and why Tangled was called Tangled. Because the Princess and the Frog did so poorly, they were like, well, we can't put princess in it, we can't put anything female in it, and we can't market it as if it's for females, so we're going to call it Tangled, we're going to call it Frozen. And they had a Jack and the Beanstalk movie that got canceled that was called, what was it? Growing or something like that.
Yeah.
So Adverb is basically what they went with for these.
So basically, you're trying to justify my younger self's horrific cynicism?
No, it is me showing you exactly where the Disney company was with its animated features at the time.
Okay.
They were getting beat by every single other company at the time. DreamWorks, ever since Shrek, they were kind of on top. And Disney took a deep dive because they were just putting their names on everything. From Home on the Range to Recess Schools Out, they were of equal quality, apparently. And the ones I actually put effort in, such as Brother Bear, weren't doing that well. And even good ones like Princess and the Frog were brought down by a lot of the political choices that a lot of idiots have out there.
Yeah, I mean, Princess and the Frog is pretty good. Brother Bear sucks, though. So, I mean, it's fair to say that DreamWorks was actually better at that time.
And so was Pixar. Pixar was the leading head of everything. Like, it was Pixar and DreamWorks neck and neck, and Disney wasn't even competing in the race.
Yeah, and this is the one. They were like, you know what?
This is where everything changed.
Well, let's make a 3D one. So I saw opening night.
They did Tangled before this.
They did do Tangled, and Tangled was pretty good. So I don't know, maybe Tangled kind of.
Tangled wasn't the juggernaut, though. It wasn't
as big. It was not nearly as big. This one was huge, and it still kind of is huge.
Which is why right in like a week or two after this is posted, there'll be a sequel to this film, which I think is the first like official Disney animated sequel.
I'm actually mildly excited for the sequel. The trailers make it look intense, so I don't know. I'm into it.
I compel everyone after this podcast is over to compare the first trailer for the original Frozen to the first trailer to Frozen 2 and just see the tone difference between those two beasts.
Between how they're trying to advertise it, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, but my first impression on this movie, and I will say I have not watched this movie more than twice. I've seen it opening night, and then I watched it last night. So my impression for a long time was that it was okay. I did not hate it. I thought I was going to hate it. I didn't, and that was a positive thing, and I left, and I was like, you know what, that was all right.
All right. I had a very different experience than you. So, once again, very similar situation. It was Thanksgiving weekend. It was the year of the polar vortex, if everyone remembers that.
Yeah, I don't think I remember that, but someone does.
Mm-hmm. It was like 20 days after me and my current girlfriend got together. So, yeah, that's something crazy to think about. And I went to go see it that opening night with my mother, my aunt, and my little cousin. I was just tagging along because I never say no to movies. And I didn't expect anything negative or positive from it. I just kind of went in like, oh, I'm about to see a kid's movie. And as soon as Let It Go happened, I kind of knew something big was going to go down with this movie. I knew at that moment this film was going to be big. I wasn't in love with it, but I knew that this was going to be huge. And I remember walking out of the theater and saying this to my aunt and mother, who were like, I didn't like that. Like, that's nothing compared to like the Renaissance years. I'm like, y'all just wait. This thing is going to be really fucking big. Like, that we're not even going to understand it. And boy, was I proven right, though.
I feel like the more interesting part of Frozen is less the movie itself and more how people responded to it.
It was the shot in the arm that people didn't realize they needed, but it was manipulative in the way it was. Like, that kind of irked me.
I think they knew what they were making. Okay.
Now let me go on and talk about the repercussions that this has had since then, really quickly.
Are we talking bad things, or are you saying repercussions as these are bad things that have happened because of Frozen, or are you saying just
I'm talking about the domino effect of what Frozen has brought about.
I wouldn't say everything Frozen brought about is negative. There's been some pretty good movies because of it.
Oh no, there's been some great things, but the writer of Frozen currently runs all of Disney Animation now off the back of this one movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's her and Pete Docter. They took over John Lasseter after he decided he wanted to hug everyone too much.
Oops.
So, on the back of this one really good movie, that's what it is. And then we're going to talk about Bobby and Kristen Anderson Lopez, who did the music for this, and now are Disney's go-to people. They used to be some cult folks that did work on Book of Mormon and a bunch of other things, and Avenue Q, vulgar comedy things, and now they've done the music for Coco, they've done Winnie the Pooh, and all this stuff on the backs of this. So all of Disney, from this point forward, are defined by the choices made here in Frozen. That is still going on to this day.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't know some of that. So the people that made the music on Frozen make all of the music on Disney now, basically?
Basically, yeah. Like, they were supposed to do the Jack and the Beanstalk film that fell apart. They were going to do the Muppet film with Josh Gad that fell apart. So basically, and they've won an Oscar for Coco since they started. So they've won the Oscar for Let It Go, they won an Oscar for Remember Me, and they'll probably win an Oscar for whatever nonsense songs are in Frozen 2 as well.
That's if Frozen 2 has any songs. We don't know yet.
Oh, it does. It does. They brought them back.
Oh, excellent. I like the songs. I would like to say
yes.
I like the songs in this better than the story. So, and I feel like a lot of other people do too.
I like, before we go into the film itself, even further than that, I do want to talk and give a little appreciation. Do you remember the short that played before this when it was in theaters? I
don't. What is the short?
It was an animated Mickey Mouse story where it was like in black and white, but then he jumped out of the screen and it went from 2D to 3D animations. I think it was called Runaway Horse.
Oh, I kind of do remember that actually, like vaguely.
That got me in the mood to watch this movie. And this was one of those few movies that I saw twice because I don't really see movies. Get a Horse was the name. I don't see movies twice in theaters very often unless it's like a Star Wars movie. But I took my girlfriend to see it the week afterwards, and I was like, this is going to be big. Just watch.
Yeah, you weren't wrong.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I was. I'm not going to lie. Because everywhere was Let It Go. Everywhere was Elsa and all that.
So, okay, the big driving force for this was mostly young girls, of course. Dressing up as Elsa.
I wouldn't say that. No. I wouldn't even say that that is the driving force.
You don't think so?
I'd say that the driving force, because it wasn't just kids. It was grown-ass adults and all that. All over the internet, you would find these adults singing these songs and all that.
Yeah, I guess Disney has always been, very approachable music-wise. And there's a huge group of people that just love anything Disney. And, Let It Go is the epitome of that, I think. It is just a big pop song that everyone loves to sing.
I bet you can't throw a rock and find someone that doesn't know most of the lyrics to Let It Go.
I'm pretty sure I couldn't, because I think I know all the lyrics to Let It Go.
And speaking of this from a point of view of 2019, it is a different watch than that initial viewing. I knew vaguely of all the cast members of the voice cast because they're all from Broadway. Santino Fontana is from the Cinderella Broadway show. Kristen Bell is from Reefer Madness the musical. Idina Menzel is from Rent and Wicked. Jonathan Groff is from Spring Awakening and Hamilton. These are Josh Gad, of course, is from Book of Mormon. All these Broadway people, but now they're all huge stars, and their voices are so ingrained in my head, whether it be Kristen Bell for The Good Place, Idina Menzel for being literally everywhere, Josh Gad for being in 1,000 things, Jonathan Groff for Mindhunter. All of these people are now giant celebrities. So watching this just feels like it's a celebrity movie as opposed to when it started, which was a bunch of mostly well-regarded character actors.
Okay. What went so right is what I wanted to talk about.
All right, what do you mean?
Okay, why did this not end up like Tangled did, where it's it was okay, and everyone forgot about it the next year?
Honestly, word of mouth.
Word of mouth?
Yes.
You don't think it's just that Disney, I mean, maybe this is me thinking from now, but Disney has always had this cult following as long as I can remember, where there is a large group of people that just anything Disney, they will immediately like it no matter what. And I feel like
I disagree.
You don't think so?
Especially not at this time. Not at this time.
Okay, because my mom is one of those people, and that's why I saw this movie.
But Wreck-It Ralph did not do a quarter as good as this. Winnie the Pooh basically flopped. Tangled did mildly okay, but not much. Bolt, does anyone even talk about that? Meet the Robinsons. Those are all the films that preceded this.
Yeah.
They had lost good faith with people, and this won it back.
I guess my curiosity is really why this and not Tangled, because I have rewatched Tangled several times because I like that movie better than Frozen.
I feel like Tangled had a harder way of standing apart. It played by the rules a little too much, whereas Frozen goes on the idea of breaking all the rules and subverting expectations, at least as far as a child will accept. So there were twists in there where it's like, no, you just got to see the movie. I don't want to spoil it for you. Whereas with Tangled, it's like, you get what you get.
I suppose, yeah. You really...
And with...
The subversion is like the worst part of Frozen. It's why I don't like it.
Which subversion are you talking about? Because when I say it, I'm not referring to the if only there was someone who loved you part.
Well, that's the big twist. That's the big subversion. Which part are you talking about?
The act of true love being the risking your life for your sister. I think that is where it really drove in and stopped being like this romance film and became a sibling film. And I think that's what really set it apart thematically from like the Princess of the Frog and
maybe
Tangled.
I'm like too cynical, but I saw that coming like a mile away.
Yes, but once again, think about for kids and all that.
I guess for little kids, yeah, they're like, oh, it's actually Kristoff. He's the real love, and then it's not, I guess.
Well, because it seems like it makes all the right calls to make you believe that. And that's not me saying that this film is genius. I'm just saying it subverted expectations just enough where you're willing to follow it a bit more and at least not get everything you were anticipating.
Yeah.
Whereas with Princess and the Frog and Tangled, every single thing is going exactly how you expect.
They follow the Disney formula to a T. It's like, oh, well, this is the true love, and they met, and now they love each other in the end.
Right. And I think that Tangled, the story of Rapunzel, is a little bit more ubiquitous than the story of the Snow Queen. Whereas everyone and their mom, whether they've actually read the Grimm storybook, knows the story of Rapunzel and exactly what happens.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the movie then. We've talked enough about the cultural stuff.
Yes. Also, I want to say one last thing about the cultural stuff.
Okay.
They made an icon with Elsa, and it became iconography more than it became a character. That's the last bit.
They made what with Elsa?
An icon. They made her more of an iconography and a synecdoche more than she was an actual character at a certain point.
Well, I guess we have to get into the movie, but I almost feel like she is more of an icon than a character.
I disagree with you. She started as a character, or at least throughout the film, and now she is just a mascot. Kind of like Mickey Mouse. He used to have a character, and now he is just a mascot.
Yeah. I guess I think in the movie she's not as well fleshed out as she should be. But I guess that's...
it's not really her movie, though. It's Anna's movie.
Yeah, but she's pretty important.
She's important, but for the longest time in the development of this, she was an out-and-out villain.
Well, Disney movies have to have a villain. So
they don't, though.
They do. Disney is very well known for their villains.
Is a lot better because it doesn't have an out-and-out villain. I think the worst part of Wreck-It Ralph is the fact that it does have an out-and-out villain.
This movie does have an out-and-out villain. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Okay. Hans is the villain.
He's not, though. He's an obstacle.
He is the villain. An obstacle and the villain is the same thing. He has the maniacal speech. He's the villain. You know.
Whatever you say, man. Let's go into the show 21 minutes in. Let's talk about Frozen.
Okay. I love the opening, song a lot. I think it's the best song in the show.
When they're breaking all the ice and shit?
Yeah, I think that's my favorite one in the whole thing.
Why?
I really like it. It's rhythmic and it sounds cool. It's not like a pop song. A lot of the other songs in this show sound like pop songs.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though.
Not necessarily, but I'm not a huge fan of that. That's a personal thing. I'm not saying that I think objectively this is the best. This is my favorite song.
Gotcha. I like it. It's fine. It sets it up. I like cute Kristoff and little baby Sven.
Yes. They set off the cuteness right away, which is, of course, great for kids. They did a great job with this.
But the "you want to build a snowman" is like when I realized this actually has some smarts to it.
Yeah, I hate that song.
I understand why people hate it, but on first watch, I want to explain exactly why I was like, this is smarter than it is.
Okay, what do you like
Because
about that?
it takes a very complicated idea of, I want my sister to spend time with me, instead of just saying, do you want to hang out, and making that the I Want song and overall goal with it. It is more this theme of the cold and all that is driven through into, do you want to build a snowman, which exists as, do you want to actually be with me, instead of saying that. So it is taking something childlike and minimizing it to like what a kid would translate that to.
Yes, the lyrics are smart, but the song is annoying because kids sing it.
I think it's smart because kids sing it.
Children shouldn't be allowed to sing.
And the fact that they shouldn't.
I've always said this. Children should be locked in a basement until they're 18, and then they can come out into the world.
I know a couple people that, like, went to jail because of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. They were doing the world a service. Children shouldn't be allowed to sing because they're annoying, and their voices are obnoxious and not well developed.
I think the middle one is actually the daughter of the composers. Fun fact.
All right, well, I'm being very mean right now, but I don't like the song because kids sing it. That's my main reason.
Is that really it?
That is like my main reason.
Is that honestly it?
Yeah, that's like the real thing.
And as much as I hated its ubiquity during the time of release, I can't help but see it as a very effective, like, way of describing
But we're skipping over a major segment here, though. What the hell is with the trolls? What the fuck is that about?
Those are the reasons why I think this isn't quite a perfect movie, honestly, is the trolls.
The trolls? Okay, I stand by the theory that the trolls are the villains. I know somebody developed this theory. I don't remember who it was, but like the trolls are the villains. They manipulated Hans using magic to force him to become evil. And I think the trolls are the bad guys. And I think Frozen 2 will justify me on this. Hans is going to get a redemption arc.
I don't want Hans to come back, honestly.
If he comes back, I want him to have a redemption arc. That's the only thing that I want.
Okay. I will say one of the best lines of just like world building that doesn't need any more to be explained that I do like about the trolls is when they just see Elsa has powers. Is like, all right, was she born with it or was she cursed? Cursed. All right.
Oh, she wasn't cursed. She was born with it.
Born with it. I'm like, that just explains the world we live in more than being like any mythology or being like, oh, since the day she was born.
I love that the king is like, oh, yeah, I know what to do. Let's bring her to these fucking trolls. Oh, she got shot in the head with ice and she's going to freeze to death? Oh, yeah, let's go see those trolls. They know what to do. And then the trolls are like, the only way to solve this is by lying to her for the rest of her life. That's the only solution. I'm sorry.
Hey, the trolls didn't do that. The parents did that on their own.
That's not true. The trolls tell them to do that.
No, they didn't tell her to keep them apart. They told them just like, hey.
They didn't tell them to keep them apart. They told them to lie to her for the rest of her life. Never tell her that she has powers. They told her
to hide the powers.
That's
not
lying to
lock
her.
her in her room for the rest of her life.
I always interpreted it as Elsa locks herself in her room for the rest of her life. I didn't think the parents were doing that.
No, I felt the parents totally did that.
But the parents died and she kept doing it anyways.
Well, it's like, hey, you wipe your ass, don't you? When your parents taught you how to do that. You're going to keep doing that when your parents die, right?
To me, it always seemed like Elsa could have come out at any time, but she didn't want to because she didn't want to hurt Anna. That's how I interpret it. He isn't going to
wipe his ass after his parents died. You hear that, guys?
No, that's what you're saying. You're saying that if your parent...
No.
Whatever.
We all heard you, Andrew.
The parents didn't lock her in her room. She put herself in her room and refused to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents were trying to teach her how to control her powers so she didn't have to stay in the castle.
I've got a question for you.
Sure.
Can you defect when you're being crowned a queen? Like, just be like, hey, I don't want this. I got too much shit going on. I refuse this.
I do not believe you can. Although it probably depends on the monarchy.
Well, didn't the guy... Have you seen the King's Speech?
No, I have not.
Well, I'm not sure how true to history this is, but the king's older brother, who was supposed to be king, doesn't want to be king because he wants to fuck this woman. So he's like, I ain't being king. I'm going to force my stuttering brother to do it. And then just fucks off for the rest of the movie.
Well, I mean, if you run away, there's probably nothing they can do, but I don't think you're supposed to do that. Also, that is...
I'm just saying that probably is what Elsa should have done.
That's the British government. That's not the... That is what she did, actually. But that's the British government. That's not a Scandinavian government, so I don't really know.
You're right. I mean, is it a government or is it a monarchy?
Monarchy is a form of government, so it is a government.
Okay.
Jess is really out of it today.
I don't think Elsa is fit to be queen.
I don't believe so either. I also think that she was already the queen, because I don't think it matters how old you are. If your parents die, you become the queen.
I think you should, like, what are you talking about? Are you going by, like, some Phantom Menace rules where if you're 14, you can be queen?
I mean, most monarchies, yes, that is the case. There's usually someone who will stand in for you, but you are technically the queen.
Yeah, but you still need to be coronated and all that.
Yes, but I think she was not a princess at that point. She was technically the queen. She just needed to be, like, officially given the rights and everything.
How long do you think was the time between the parents' death and her coronation?
I would say, like, 4 or 5 years.
Really? Years? I was thinking, like, 8 months.
8 months? Really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I feel like it was not too long.
Weren't they younger when the parents left? I believe they were younger in the movie.
I'm staring at me being wrong right now because the Wikipedia page says when the sisters are teenagers, their parents die at sea during a storm.
Yeah.
Then, following her 21st birthday, Elsa is crowned the Queen of Arendelle.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm right on this one. Just I win the episode, right?
You win the episode. Fuck you. Great first episode, eh?
I won. That's a great episode. Okay.
Let's call it now. Why? We're introduced to Hans in this opening number.
Yeah. In the opening number?
What were we gonna say?
You mean when they open the doors?
Yes.
The opening number. That's really stupid. Okay, Hans is a character that doesn't make any sense to me at all, and I think a lot of people have the same complaint. I think this is kind of almost ubiquitous with a lot of people. Hans doesn't make sense. Hans is super nice because he wants to marry in to royalty, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But then when he finds out Anna's gonna die, he immediately flips and is like, "Oh, I'm evil. Actually, I never loved you at all." Right? Why did he do that?
I mean, he probably didn't love her.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he could have given the bitch some hope, though.
Yeah, like, wouldn't it be if his grand scheme was, I'm gonna let her die, and I'm gonna kill Elsa, and then I'm the king. Bada bing, bada boom, right? That's his scheme. Why not give her the kiss, and then leave the room? You know it's not true love, so she dies, but she's not gonna go blabbing to everybody about how you're evil, and then you can do whatever you want. How does it make sense to monologue?
Andrew, it's all because he's a plot contrivance, so that people in the audience can gasp.
But he's such a bad plot contrivance. It's, every time I see the scene where he turns, I'm like, what? Why? Like, honestly, why? You could have had You could have had the whole plot without him turning at all. Have him give the kiss, it doesn't work, she realizes it doesn't work, Hans realizes it doesn't work, and he's like, oh, you've got to find another way, I guess I'm not your true love or something. And then have the fucking rest of the movie happen. I don't fucking know.
Well, the thing is, we have to get rid of Hans from the story and, like, from this kingdom and all that, without us feeling bad about it, because that's too complicated an emotion.
Yeah, we can't have it be like, oh, I guess it wasn't meant to be, and then he's like, all right, I guess I'll leave. We could have had a nice happy ending, man. We could have had Hans with Elsa and Kristoff with Anna, and it's like 4-way, man. It would have been sick. This castle would have been bumping.
He actually seems to be more, like, a little better at, like, ruling shit than, like, everyone else. Like, he's getting blankets for everyone, seeing that everything's gonna be good.
Like, why did he do all that stuff, is the other thing. Why did he not let those people kill Elsa?
Because he's a good monarch, but even good monarchs have to do some shitty things sometimes.
Like, it doesn't make sense, which is why I think the trolls did it, man. The trolls did it. Okay? What happens in between Hans being this nice dude and him turning evil? Anna reveals she's engaged.
Why would he be in love with Anna?
I'm not saying he was in love with Anna. I'm just saying he wasn't evil.
He asked her to marry him.
Okay, yeah, he's a little bit ambitious. That doesn't make him evil.
I don't even think he's evil.
He wants to kill them. He monologues,
you act like
man.
monarchs have never killed anyone before.
He monologues, man. That's evil. If you're monologuing, you're evil.
How about, here's the second pitch, all right?
Okay,
all right?
What do you got? What do you got?
That's all a delusion that Anna's having because of the lack of oxygen as her heart freezes.
The whole rest of the movie doesn't happen. She's dead. She's freezing to death in Elsa's castle.
And like, no. What happens is she gets outside and then we just fade out, cut to white, and then smash cut to the next morning. She looks like Jack Torrance in The Shining.
Oh my god.
The reindeer's licking her face and his tongue gets stuck.
All right. So yeah, okay. That works for me. I'm fine with that.
But no, I think that he's enterprising and a bit of a dick, and he's got like Napoleon syndrome, but for brothers.
Of course. I mean, if you had 13 brothers, I mean, you'd be pretty upset.
I'm never gonna get that king. I'm gonna be king. It's just that he sucks at playing the Game of Thrones.
I mean, he didn't suck. He didn't suck up until the very end, where he just suddenly started sucking. All he had to do was just pretend until she died, but he couldn't help himself. He had to start monologuing.
Well, he's a Bond villain, basically.
It's just, it doesn't make sense, man. Like,
see, he has like the perfect princely voice, so I think that and a lot of the framing helps with like that twist a lot.
I think the twist sucks, honestly. I think it was unnecessary and doesn't really... The only thing it's really there for is they wanted to have that, like, you wanted to marry him on the first day? To, like, kind of make fun of their older movies where that actually happens.
Right.
But after they did that, they're like, oh shit, we still have this character in the movie, though. What do we do? It's like, he just turns evil.
Do you think it would have been better if instead of monologuing, he sang a reprise of Love is an Open Door?
Yeah, actually, that would have been better.
Like, instead of like the really quoted line, oh, Anna, what if only there was someone who loved you? He was just like, now time for another door in your face, because I am now leaving you.
It would have at least been a more fun twist, instead of just like, oh, here comes the Bond villain.
So now I'm gonna lock the door.
Okay. Other thing, so we were talking about how much Frozen has impacted the rest of Disney.
Yes.
Hans has impacted the rest of Disney because every fucking Disney villain is a twist villain now. All of them.
Hey, what are you talking about? I'm curious now.
There's so many fucking twist villains. Have you not noticed that?
No, I'm curious. Explain it to me.
Okay. Fucking, oh my goodness. Coco, twist villain. What other movie is it?
Was it a twist? Was it really a twist?
Yes, it fucking was. It was a twist. It was a shitty twist, but it is a twist.
I'm gonna also veto that. I know it is on Disney Plus, but that is not a Disney movie. That is a Pixar movie.
Okay. Still.
The only one I will give you credit for, actually, fuck, now I'm looking at it. You're right. Big Hero 6, twist villain. Zootopia, big twist villain. Moana, no twist villain. Ralph Breaks the Internet, didn't see it.
Kind of twist villain, because it's the other way, though. The villain turns out to be not the villain.
She was a threat, though, but I guess.
Toy Story, all the Toy Story, I know that's Pixar, but still Disney, it's still Disney, like, kind of. That's a twist.
Toy Story 4 uses that to its advantage, where the villain isn't really all that villainous.
Yeah, it's the opposite of a twist. It's oh, we've already done the good guy turns evil thing so much, now it's evil guy turns good.
So you're saying the only good Disney movie is Moana?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm getting a little tired of twist villains. Getting a little sick of it. I just want a traditional Disney villain that just comes out and is like, I'm evil as hell and hate me, please. I want Gaston back, man. Give me Gaston again.
Andrew craves Jafar's.
Man, I haven't seen the new like Disney remakes, but I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to turn the villains into twist villains somehow. They're like, Jafar is like really nice. It's like, oh, maybe in this version he's actually a nice guy. It's like, oh, but actually he's evil.
So, do you think there's gonna be a twist villain in Frozen 2?
I do. Yes, I do think that. I feel like
Do you think they're gonna finally give Elsa a girlfriend?
Absolutely not. China's not gonna allow that.
Yeah, you're right. You got a point. It'd be nice, though.
Oh man, it'd be nice.
Why can't we just have LGBT representation without having to worry about China?
Because China has a ton of money.
You're right.
Yeah, of course I'm right. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
What is this? You wanted to talk about merchandise. So where are we going with this?
All right. So this is actually going to be the merchandise corner. In every episode we do, we're going to talk about merchandising because every Disney property ever has been milked as far as it possibly can be milked to be as merchandisable as possible. So I set aside some key pieces of Frozen official merchandise, and I'm sending it to Andrew without any context. And if you guys want to find it yourself, go for it. I am not linking it. I want you to just live and sit in Andrew's description of what he's about to open. Now, these are all official Frozen products. So, Andrew, why don't you open the first one?
Oh my god, what the fuck is this? Disney? Is this real? This is Photoshop.
Yes, these are all official pieces of Frozen merchandise.
This is 100% real. This is not a Photoshop. You are not lying to me.
100% real.
Okay.
I am not lying to you.
This is Disney duct tape.
I only know this for a fact because I used this duct tape before.
Oh my god. It literally says, I'm an expert on the snow, and it just has pictures of Olaf all over it. It's just duct tape. It's just duct tape. Why?
All right.
Why though? Is this like...
And it's not even duct tape, it's DUCK tape.
Well, that's the brand. Duct tape is a brand.
I did not know that until now.
You didn't know that? Okay, well, I mean, it does show the logo. It's a duck, and it says duck on it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It says brand duct tape, and the word duct tape is copyrighted.
Copyrighted duct tape 2019. All right, let's go to the next one. Here's our next piece of merchandise.
Our next piece of merchandise. This is expected, though. I'm not surprised by this. This is...
All right, what do we got?
A Frozen Huggies. Of course, just in case you want to shit on Olaf's face. This is your way to do it.
Because they do, put their faces on them. They do, inscribe their faces onto these little baby wet wipes.
But babies like Frozen, of course. I mean, the thing with the duct tape, okay?
Put your ass on me. I'm Olaf.
I mean, the thing with the duct tape is, I'm working at a warehouse. I'm not going to have a roll of Frozen duct tape. But, if I'm working at a warehouse and I need to shit my pants, of course I'm going to have Frozen Huggies.
I like how you're going to shit your pants. Like, you just need the Huggies to wipe some of that out.
No, I'm wearing it, dude.
You're putting the Huggies in your ass.
Dude, I'm a big kid. I wear pull-ups, man. That brings me to the circle of life, man. You start with diapers, you go to pull-ups, then you wear undies, and then you're back in diapers. It's sad.
Then you kill yourself.
Kill yourself? Oh my god.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, I like this one. This is nice, actually. My mom would love this.
What do we got next, Andrew?
Olaf Waffle Maker. It makes waffles in the shape of Josh Gad.
Are we 100% sure that would be what it would look like, though?
No, it absolutely would not. It would not look like that at all.
It would look like a demon monster.
Everything is way too round. There would just be, drips of stuff, and it would just ruin it and not look nearly as good. This is professionally made Olaf waffle.
It would just... Hold on, I found one of what it looks like, actually. You ready for this?
Oh, yes.
I mean, all things considered, it's not the worst, but it ain't that good either.
It ain't
adding
bad.
it to the dock.
It ain't bad, but
There you go.
it ain't good. All right, well, you got fans of Mickey Mouse. Oh, no, that doesn't look good at all. It's all ripped apart.
You have to, like, pull it apart and shit. Like, it makes it in pieces, then you have to pull apart the pieces.
Well, it also doesn't fit on the plate properly. Are they using, like, a too small plate? I don't even know. All right.
All right. You ready for the next one, Andrew?
Oh, wow. That is, something.
All right, Andrew, what are we looking at?
This one turns your little body into a castle, because this is just straight up panties with
They are...
Elsa and Anna in windows looking out.
They are stained glass bikini bottoms, especially for grown-ass women, with Anna and Elsa all over.
Yeah, that is, well, thank you for that one, Jess. I appreciate that. What's next?
All right, what we got next, Andrew?
Oh, man. Oh, wow. Okay.
He looks like he's giving birth.
Yeah, for this one, they just cut a big hole in Olaf's stomach and made him into a snow cone machine. He's really happy about it, too. It makes strawberry
It's like
and
the
raspberry
scene from
ice.
Aliens.
Well, I mean, it's snow, though, and it's coming out of a snowman. So is it more just that you're eating him?
Eat him. Eat
Oh,
the shit
God.
out of fucking Olaf.
God, yeah. I'm in. All right, last one.
Yeah. Okay, this is not a piece of merchandise,
Oh,
but it is something that now exists because
I've
of the
seen
films.
This one. Why did you do this to me?
So, because of the Frozen movies, a lot of sick perverts out there decided to make a bunch of flash games where Anna and Elsa are pregnant, or you gotta pry shit out of their feet, or like give birth. Like, it's fucked up. So, Andrew, how about you describe what you're looking at?
All right, well, it looks like Anna is extremely pregnant, and you've got to stick some medical shit into her arm. And I'm assuming there's probably other stuff you have to do in this. I see an oxygen mask, so you're probably going to have to gas her out. There's a baby Rosie thing here, so you could probably take a peek, see what the baby's going to look like. There's a crib, so maybe we actually get to have her give birth. We get to see the baby. Yeah, this seems like a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare.
And it's like too red, like it just looks nauseating to look at, even if
I hate every
the
second
content were
of
different.
this. I can't look away, but I hate every second of it.
That is what Frozen has brought us. All right, Andrew?
Which is fine for me. I mean, I'm okay with it.
Okay. But you know who else we need to figure out if it would be fine with?
What's that?
Mr. Walter Elias Disney. What do you think Walt would think of Frozen and everything that his company represents now because of it?
I don't think Walt Disney would appreciate what Disney has become because of Frozen, but I think Walt would have liked Frozen as a movie. I think he would have
Why?
enjoyed it. I don't know. I mean, if you look at the movies that Walt made, I mean, you look at like Snow White, Frozen isn't really all that different. Obviously, it subverts some of those things, but I mean, he was kind of a trailblazer. I think he would like that.
If you want the honest answer, I think he would only be impressed by the animation quality.
You really
and
think
the
so?
songs. Honestly, I think Walt would not appreciate the centric on the female side. He would have preferred that like the animals have a little bit more screen time and focus a little bit more on the environments rather than the character. Because if you watch like the films that he was really into, like Fantasia or Bambi or Dumbo, they are very environmental films and not very big on story. Like even Snow White,
you're right.
The story's there, but he's more focused on the environment. And honestly, I think he'd like the fact that it brought his company a little bit more attention because it is taking a step further and further into the monopolistic, horrible thing that we've got. And I think he would have loved Disney Plus to just have a place where everyone could look at his shit. Because he very much was a fan of trains, and basically Disney Plus is just a giant train set.
I think you are actually right on that. I mean, you look at movies, the other movies that he made, and a lot of it is a more focused on animals and shit like that. And this could definitely use more of that. But but it does have some pretty impressive environments. I think he would really, yeah, you're right. I'm going to agree with you on this. You changed my mind. Very wholeheartedly agree.
I win the episode!
No, I've already won the episode because you were actually wrong. It was not an opinion. You were objectively wrong. All right. Overall thoughts,
I think
Jess?
Walt would have appreciated it for what it was.
Jess, what are your overall thoughts here? I'm curious.
Oh, I think Frozen is important in the grand scheme of film. I think that Moana is a much stronger and more entertaining film, and I think Tangled might even be a little better. But I cannot believe that I called it so on the nose that this film was going to be as ginormous as it was. And I'm happy to say that it has done more good than bad. But the bad is very, very, very bad.
But the good is pretty good as well, though.
Yes. Can I ask you a quick trivia question?
Oh, sure. What do you got?
The writer of this film, Jennifer Lee, who now runs the animation division of Disney, has written one live-action film since this film has premiered. Can you name me what that was?
Oh, man. I'll be honest.
It was for Disney, so.
Be honest, that's probably a big no. Live-action film for Disney.
Yep.
Was it like a Disney Channel original or something like that?
Nope. It was a big-budget film.
Big-budget film? I got no clue, man. What is it?
It had Reese Witherspoon.
As if that's going to help me.
It had Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, God. Is it really that?
Yes.
Wow. No
yes,
way.
It is.
Okay.
It's the one live-action film she's done.
I didn't know that was Disney, to be honest with you. But that holy shit.
It doesn't feel like a Disney movie. I liked it for what it was. It is insane what the movie is, but...
It looks like shit. I haven't seen it, but it looks like shit.
It has moments of great... It's a weird...
Can you name it? Because I actually don't remember the name. I just know what you're talking about. Oh, it's a Wrinkle in Time. Wrinkle in Time. That was what it's called.
It is a strange movie, but I would never call it bad, if that makes sense.
All I know is I've seen the trailers and they look like shit. I have not seen the movie, so I won't actually judge.
Well, I read the books too, and I know those books are near impossible to adapt, and what they did, I'm like, it's about close enough.
About close enough. All right, Jess. One more important thing, though. This is still a with cheese product here, so what is your cheese rating on this?
Frozen cheese curds. Because, they're probably better when they're heated up, but if you just let them thaw a bit, they're pretty good still.
Okay. Let's see.
What about you, Andrew?
I'm a little torn on what I want to give for a cheese rating. Part of me wants to
Would you call yourself Rip Torn?
No, I would not. Part of me wants to say it's like a string cheese, just because it is so, has such mass appeal, and has really changed the way we eat cheese by putting it in that string form, And I feel like that really fits with Frozen. But the other part of me wants to give it Västerbotten, which is a Scandinavian cheese, just because I like Scandinavia, and this is a Disney movie about Scandinavia, so...
Meaning it's about white people. What people?
Well, I mean, yes, the white people do live in Scandinavia, so I suppose that is true. I just like the cold.
What a shithole country.
I just like the cold.
I like the cold, too.
I like the cold, and I like Vikings, and I like that guy at the sauna place that talks with that funny accent.
He is a gay man. Did you notice that?
When his family shows up, there's no women, right?
Yeah, he has a husband and a bunch of kids.
Yep, but China didn't notice.
Just gotta cut him out. Make him a single dad. All right, guys, thank you for listening to our inaugural episode of Disney Plus Cheese. We are very glad that you're here. Please follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We're all there. We don't have an email yet, but we will soon. Give us some ratings. We need some attention. Just give us as much love as you can. Rate us like 5 times. Give us iTunes reviews. Dump it all on us.
And of course, if somehow you are seeing this first, make sure you check out our other show, Musicals with Cheese, where we talk about Broadway.
Yes. And our title card was created by the amazing Jolene Casco. We love you, Jolene, and we're so glad we brought you onto this show, too. Is there anything else you got to say, Andrew, before we wrap this on up?
Have an excellent day. And in case I don't see you...
Most excellent!
All right, we're done.
Actually, Andrew, can I say one thing before we wrap up?
Oh, sure. What do you got?
The snow blows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like
I'm the queen.
We'll see you next time on Disney Plus Cheese.
I don't know the theme song yet because I didn't write it.
It's coming though. Theme song.